And the next question is, ma'am, if we anastomose artery, it will decrease the ischemia time. Once the arterial anastomosis is secured, bleeding through vein will help to remove thrombi. So if any, and will prevent inadvertent take of both walls of veins in suture, as we can check it by removing the clamp. So can we do this?
Well, you can do it, but ischemia time for fibula is, I think it is never a problem that way. I mean, it has some many times taken 3-4 hours for us to go in and do the anastomosis and all that, but nothing has happened because of that. I mean, the choice is yours. You can do artery first. I mean, that is one school of thought. You do artery first, then the let the vein bleed out, and then you can do the anastomosis. But doing venous anastomosis, you will have to clamp the artery, or there's a vena communicant, you will have to allow the other vein to bleed out intermittently. Otherwise, the artery pumping in will just keep on pushing on your clamps so much, and the flap will become turgid. That's why if you do one vein first, then artery, and then the other vein, then you don't have to really clamp the artery for a long period of time. I mean, I like to do, if given a choice, I like to do vein first so that I don't have to put longer clamp on the artery and then do artery. But if the artery is going behind the vein and going to be difficult, I'll do the artery first, then the vein. I think it is individual preferences. Ischemia time per se for about 2 to 5 hours. Nothing happens to fibula all this time.
And ma'am,
ischemia time is more when you take care when it's a functional muscle transfer or a jejunal transfer. Therefore, you have to really be careful about the ischemia.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, if flap doesn't work, can we debride the skin paddle and keep the bone and expect it to survive?
Definitely not.
Only bone? Only bone with osteotomy?
What?
Then it becomes a random bone graft. No?
How will you cover the bone? I mean, if the bone is exposed, it will desiccate and it will die. There is hardware, and the bone has to be covered no matter what. That is the most important thing. Okay. One drop of saliva gets inside, it will infect the bone.
See, usually it is skin paddle gone doesn't mean the bone is gone. Sometimes somewhere your perforative stretch or damaged. So then you have to, either if it is late, you have to do a bone scan and see it, or you open and see if the muscle over there is good. That means there's a perforator issue. The skin paddle may not survive. But the bone gone and the perforator is usually the main anastomosis is gone, the whole flap is gone. But you can't put only bone there, because these patients will 100% will require radiation afterwards. And that's like a random bone graft. It won't survive.
Okay, ma'am.
Then you might as well just put a recon plate and come out so that you can do a secondary reconstruction at a later date.
If your skin paddle stops working, do nasolabial bilateral on table. See, if you want to make sure your bone is working or not, you can drill the bone with a diamond burr and see for cortical bleeding. So you know it has.
See, once you expose it, you really see the color of the bone, and you can really, you can make out whether it is viable.
Do bilateral nasolabials or a radial foramen and cover the bone once and for all and come out. Don't take the risk.
See, bone is viable, then you try to save it.
Because that is the most precious thing for that patient.
If the defect is small, you put the label. If the defect is good, put radial or ALT, whichever flap is of your choice.
Okay, ma'am. And what will be the inset of PMMC flap in oral cavity? Means the superior end of PMMC will go posterior or anterior end of the defect?
No, I didn't get the question. What is it?
They are trying to ask about the PMMC inset. Where would the superior end of the PMMC flap will go? Whether it will go to the posterior part of the defect or anterior part of the defect?
If you are using it only for the lining purpose, it is just flipped up. Okay. So the inferior part goes to the upper side.
Okay.
It is just flipped up like this. So the skin paddle, when it faces inside, the lower edge of the flap goes to the upper margin of the defect. So whenever you are planning a PMMC flap, you have to feed it into the, reverse planning. Your upper border of the PMMC should reach the margin of the defect easily without tension. And then whatever flap dimensions you're taking will definitely reach the upper border. So this the lower border goes to the upper margin of the defect.
Okay.
Of the PMMC.
And what are the pedicle flap options in exam for central mandible defect in same case?
That's what we just discussed. Is pedicle flaps is PMNC, but see all these pedicle flaps except one which Dr. Deepak said in the end. Rest of the flaps are all like they are not very vascularized flaps. They have a quasi-periosteal, some circulation. If you take PMNC with rib, the rib is really vascularized by the posterior intercostal arteries, not by PMMC.
Yes.
And your curvature for this will be totally a different curvature because the flap is going to flip up. The curvature will be exactly opposite to the middle third. So you will have to score it and bend it. So in addition, you are reducing the blood supply. The clavicle is too small a bone. Spine of scapula, maybe. The other flap, what Dr. Deepak said that. Sometimes people may even shift an LD with an rib.
Serratus.
Yeah,
Serratus.
Yeah.
And can we do open wedge osteotomy? Defects will always be less than 1 centimeter. That's what is the question.
What is it?
Can we do open wedge osteotomy?
In fibula?
Defects will always be less than 1 centimeter. Dr. Varun, if he can ask the question.
If you do an open wedge osteotomy, the curvature will be opposite. We don't want that.
The open wedge osteotomy, your contact won't be there only. No?
Yeah, it will be exactly opposite than what you want. Can you ask us the question, please?
Yeah, Dr. Varun, he's the one who had the query. So if he's like live,
what does he mean by
go to the
open
next
wedge osteotomy?
I don't know, ma'am. He's not clear in this. Ma'am, what is the ossification at the fibula and mandible junction? Is it endochondral or membranous?
Pardon?
What is the ossification at the fibula and mandible junction?
I'm not getting the question.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
No, I'm not. I heard you, but I'm not understanding exactly what you want.
I think the person is trying to ask at the fibula and mandible junction, the neomandible and the native mandible junction, what kind of ossification happens?
Standard callus formation.
You're asking what about union happens?
What sort of union happens?
That union is just like any fracture union. It starts
just
with
a fibula heals like and fracture mandible.
Yeah.
So it starts with a fibrous callus and then becomes a normal bony union after that.
Yeah. If it's a type 2C or 4C mandibulectomy, how to reconstruct ramus if 3D printing and CAD/CAM facilities are not available, and how to reconstruct the defect, ma'am?
What is
My
type
God,
C?
I always get this Corderio and these people keep on making new.
What is type 2C defect? You just explain me that because I don't follow that.
Dr. Sridharan.
What is type 2C defect? Just explain me that defect. You understand, Dr. Deepak, what he's trying to say?
No, ma'am. I can pull up the paper now and see, but it's so difficult to make out these kinds of defects and all that.
If you can explain the defect.
So somebody has put up a message. Condyle involvement. Is that?
Condyle involvement.
So how do you manage the condyle?
So what is the question?
Section? How to reconstruct
if condyle is removed?
Yeah, if condyle is involved and we have removed it, then how will you reconstruct the ramus when you don't have 3D printing and CAD/CAM facilities available? You don't have the facilities.
But then you see how much is the from angle to the ramus is about 4.5 centimeters maximum. Okay, so you do an wedge osteotomy for the angle. The base of the wedge is at the upper border of the mandible, of the fibula, and it bends it, and then you have to fix it to any tough structure there, a capsule or whatever cut muscles are there, anchor it over there. Never fix it with any cleats or screws. And you just round off the fibular bones borders and drape it with soft tissue so that it doesn't unite with anything else over there.
Okay.
So there are different ways to reconstruct.
People try to put that size head of the condyle not involved over that, or you can have an plate with an condylar head over that. But I have not used it, so I really can't say that if that is required. Because patients will always require an RT again over there.
Yeah, ma'am, like condyle, there are different ways of reconstructing. You can use alloplastic materials. So there are recon plates which have a condylar head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Plate and condylar
head. But they're all very bad because they will migrate into the cranium because of the constant movement. So this patient should have an intact capsule. If the whole mandible has been disarticulated, if the capsule also taken out, then it's a problem. You cannot use a condylar plate. What we do is you project the ascending ramus of the fibula slightly above the plate and create a suture joint there. And like ma'am said, take a few sutures through the zygomer just to keep it in place and for fibrous union to occur. That's all. But if you're looking for a dynamic growing, because the condyle is a center of growth for the mandible, the vertical height.
No.
If you're looking for a dynamic growth of the mandible, you have to do a growth center transfer. And the only growth center transfer that is possible is serratus with rib. Because the fibula, if you take in a, you can take the fibula head also, but it's what we would do is to create a long segment of stopping short of the condylar fossa.
Yeah, but whatever you do on opening, the jaw is going to deviate because there are no muscles which are controlling.
So you put the patient on elastics.
There is nothing there. If you don't want that, open that deviation, maybe you need to get a customized joint to fix over there so that it will not. Otherwise, on opening, the jaw will always deviate because the opposite muscles are only acting.
We have used custom joints for a lot of benign cases, ma'am. And in cases where the condyle goes, we put the patient on IMF and guiding elastics post-op, so that there is some amount of occlusion that is maintained. But in a
that's a guide-by prosthesis, no? That
yes, like a bite prosthesis.
Guide-by prosthesis.
But in a malignancy patient, it's a very difficult thing to do, ma'am.
Yeah, that's all, ma'am. The questions.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, regarding that open wedge osteotomy question I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Ma'am, the osteotomy for the angle is going to be in a different plane.
Yes.
As compared to the central segment. So, for that, I wanted to know that do we necessarily need to do a closing wedge osteotomy, or can we just do an open?
Everywhere it is closing wedge osteotomy. Only your site of the wedge base differs. For middle third, it is closing wedge osteotomy because you want to turn the bone inside. For the angle, for the ramus, you want that bone to go upwards, backwards, slightly inwards. Okay. So base of your triangle, that wedge comes at the upper border of the fibula with the tip going to the lower border of fibula. Then the bone turns upwards and inwards and goes in the direction of the ramus. It is not open wedge osteotomy. It is again a closed wedge osteotomy, only its placement is different.
Ma'am, usually we do closing wedge. I was just asking that usually we do closing wedge only. I was just asking that can we do open wedge? Because if we open that wedge, the defect is going to be smaller than 1 centimeter only.
Yeah, but your contact may not be there with the bone to bone.
Yeah,
the contact will be only bone contact will be very meager.
I was asking it more for some benign conditions where we might not be going for immediate radiotherapy.
No, even in that case also, there is no role of open wedge osteotomy.
Okay.
Because if you do closed wedge osteotomy, it will heal like a fracture. Open wedge, there is too much of a gap and hardly any bone contact, so it will never unite.
Thank you, ma'am.
The only open wedge osteotomy is when you corticotomize the DCIA.
That's the only place.
That's the only place, or you corticotomize scapula. That's the only open wedge osteotomy in principle. But like ma'am said, if you don't do a closing wedge, you're not going to have bicortical bone contact between the fragments. So that's not going to be there.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. I'll take leave, ma'am. For all the seniors, thank you so much. I'll take leave, ma'am. Thank you so much. Sir was also
Thank you, Dr. Deepak.
Thanks so much, ma'am. Thanks for having me, ma'am. Sir was also there. I think sir has left.
Thanks, Deepak.
Sir, this also I think was in theatre. He just came now.
Yeah. I just arrived.
Thank you, sir. I'll take leave, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
But I'm so sorry I could not be there from the start because I got caught up in an unexpected case. I got caught up.
Okay. I hope it was helpful. Really, that candidate presented it very well. It was very lucid and nice presentation. Very well done.
Thanks. A lot of credit goes to Dr. Lakshmi.
Yeah, I'm telling her.
Lots of effort put by the candidate also, madam.
Yeah,
really,
of course,
they are working a lot.
Candidate's effort, but you have guided him. I mean, he must be presenting it regularly because his flow was very smooth. If you keep on presenting regularly, then the thought process also comes like that. I mean, he was very
true, very true.
Very nice.
And their institute head also supporting them and making them to present.
Ravi Tutoria. I know. He really drills his students.
So they are conducting seminar on the topic and they are nice, very.
He is very active. And you people are also equally active. Start this.
Thank you, madam, for participating, coming over and participating, madam, in spite of your busy schedule.
Now really, it is not busy. Now it is Corona schedule. It's not very busy.
No, but on a Saturday evening, whether it's Corona or not Corona, everyone wants to spend that time with family. At that time, you have come.
No, we are spending too much time with the family now. Everybody is at home only. So no problem. No problem. Anytime you want.
Yeah, sure, madam.
Okay. Thank you, madam. And thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, madam.
And thank
you very much, madam.